See, now we have better energy now. Now I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm loose.
Now you're warmed up.
Oh, man. All right, everyone. Welcome back to Automotive Anatomy. So today we're with Miguel once again. Great feedback from the first interview, so thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
By the way, kind of going back to what I was saying before, the level of work ethic that this guy has is incredible. Drove an hour, it's a Friday night, mad traffic. I definitely do appreciate the fact that you made the time for us. Big shout out to Fujiwara Tofu Cafe. Vincent and Cherry, they opened up their doors. They're actually in Japan right now, so he was like, yeah, no problem, I'll let the staff know. So if you guys don't know, this boba spot kind of restaurant, homage to the initial D. And so it's located in Monte, California. They host a lot of cars and coffees, and well, not cars and coffees, just car meets in general at night. They partnered up with my buddy Sub 2 Club, and so definitely big shout out to them. They themselves are very car enthusiasts, so thank you. Check it out. I'll put the address. If you're in LA, OC area, come and check it out for sure. So thank you, Vincent.
In El Monte, right?
El Monte, yes, LA.
LA, cool.
So, would I make YouTube a full-time job? The answer at this moment. Because I was thinking about what I said about like, oh, I wouldn't splurge and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, maybe I have that scarce mentality. Maybe I'm kind of like minimizing the options, the potential. And I was like, if money's coming in and it's just flowing, why not?
Yeah.
So maybe I'm already,
That's the way I see it, yeah.
That's okay. So at this moment, the answer is no, I wouldn't want to. I like what I do on my personal life, and I like not having the stress on this. I want to ask you about that because I don't want to hug the mic like I did the first time. But it's because he was asleep. Now we're at 8 p.m. Now he's good.
It was 6 in the morning, bro.
I'm an early bird. I just feel like it's very stressful. So my question to you is, how does Miguel do it? An entrepreneur, YouTube content creator, car builder. How do you do it with this being not your only gig, but your main gig, as far as I know?
So I feel like some people call it the creator economy. I feel like it's a new business model where you make content. This goes for any niche, and you can basically monetize and make enough money to where you can live off of it, and you don't have to depend on anyone. So that's the concept, right? I think there's different ways to do it. The way I did it is I basically worked since I was like 17 and a half, basically till now. It got to a point where I tried to save up as much money as possible before I decided to kind of try to tackle the whole content creation space like full time, right? So there's different ways to monetize. This is something that I didn't really get taught. I just kind of learned as I went. There's obviously like the YouTube AdSense, right? There's affiliate marketing. There's different ways. So you could have different companies, or Amazon's probably the biggest one. And you can start monetizing immediately. You don't have to have a lot of subscribers. If you make a how-to video on anything specific, how to make LED lights, for example, and you list all the materials with the Amazon affiliate links, you get 4% of the product plus 4% of whatever they buy within the next 24 hours. So you could get from hundreds to thousands of dollars just from Amazon affiliate. I don't know if you've ever done it.
I haven't.
So get on it as soon as possible and start linking all the products and stuff you use in anything, or just it helps. Okay. There's that. So there's obviously the merch stuff you've done. Maybe go into that a little bit because I feel like the whole merch thing is a little bit difficult because you start off with, simple designs. You don't know what shirt to get. You don't know what. Yeah, that was like, to me, a huge deal. Gus was actually the one that kind of. He gave me one of his shirts for Automotive Anatomy, and then I was like, dude, what shirt is this specifically? I like it for my own. And you told me it, and then I
gave him the wrong info. I was like, this baggy completely. Bro, buy one and then I'll tell you. Just kidding.
But
and by the way, I wholeheartedly appreciate the fact that you felt comfortable to DM me and say, hey bro, like I really like this shirt, because I like my shirts.
Yeah.
But everybody's gonna say the same thing about their own product.
Yeah.
And shout out to my buddy Clint. He's the one who
he's the one with the whitest 2K, right? I met him. Yeah.
Super down to earth guy.
Yeah.
He does
a sick car.
He does. Yeah.
Sick car.
We interviewed him. Now the car looks completely different. It's boosted everything. Yeah. So Clint, thank you, because he's the one who has recommended. I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just saying. Thank you so much for feeling comfortable to reach out, and anything I can do moving forward, I'll be more than glad to help you. But you were saying, okay, so the merchandise, that's another way of getting income. So do you find it, I think my question to you now is the highs and the lows of Miguel, right? You've been making full-time, I guess you would say, content creation for 5 years?
2 years.
2 years?
2 years.
Wow, so the 3 years you said, hey, there's more to it. I don't want to be sitting behind whatever. I want to go and push. How do you deal with that?
The stress? It's pretty stressful. Just because it's mainly the money. So right. So let's say for example you have X amount of money saved up, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna invest this. You have to see it as an investment. I'm gonna put this money into the build. I'm gonna build this car, and it's gonna get me X amount of publicity, X amount of followers, whatever. And it's gonna get, so you have to have some sort of goal as far as like what you want to do with your content, where you see it going, and you have to have the belief that it's gonna work out, right? So as you and I both know, videos don't always hit. Some get 500 views, some get 10,000, right? So it's always, you can't depend on the algorithm. So to me, like AdSense isn't really the smart way to do it, but since no one really taught me how to do it, I kind of had to figure it out on my own. Luckily, I did have that safety net where I didn't have to, worry too much about getting an extra paycheck. But at the same time, it was, I don't have kids. I don't have, I kind of minimized my responsibilities to where my expenses were as low as possible, so that I could keep this going for a longer period of time, right? So as soon as I got into the space, I was like, all right, so I'm gonna try merch. I had to figure that out. Went negative for like the first 2 years that I was trying it with the designs. I mean, obviously I didn't sell all the shirts, and I found out, once, a made to order shirt, so basically I have like the transfer, and then whenever they ordered, I make it. I found that easier, and then now I'm trying to see a better way to where I could go to Mexico, get the merch done for way cheaper, and just have like an inventory, so I don't have to worry about I think the more you do it, the more you start learning from people or start learning what to do. There's also like the whole sponsorships, brand deals, like those are big. Those are probably the biggest way to make the money. If the brand, for example, AT&T sees you as an influencer, someone that could represent them as a brand, and someone that could bring, give them an edge as far as marketing, because it's a car enthusiast that's promoting their products, promoting their service. It's just a new way of marketing. I feel like I think a lot of modern companies are barely getting into that, that train where it's like the whole influencer network and influencer marketing type of thing is a thing. So I don't like the word influencer, but at the end of the day, it's someone that.
But you are.
Someone that holds a lot of traffic. And that traffic is worth money, believe it or not. So you're generating thousands, tens of thousands of views, and for a company to run ads, that same amount of viewpoint, it would cost them thousands of dollars. So that's kind of where you have to compare. And I feel like a lot of the people that are starting out don't really know how much to charge. Maybe they're expecting brand deals or stuff like that, and they don't get them. I don't know. It's obviously going to depend on the person too, and how much the sub count, as we were talking about earlier. The bigger the sub count, the more you're going to get, the more money, the easier it gets, I feel like. But as I was growing my YouTube channel and all my personal brand, it's kind of something that I've realized and that I've had to learn over time. So,
in the last 2 years, have you thought about quitting? Has there been a point where you're like, no, I don't want to, but due to the bank account, now I have to go get a part-time job or a 9 to 5?
I think about it every day.
Ooh.
Actually, every day. Like, it comes across my mind, but then I'm just like, I've already been doing this for so long. There's no point in stopping. And the amount of people, opportunities, and things I've been able to do just because of what I've done is, like, I wouldn't want my life to go any other way. Like, I feel like I'm doing what I want to do, and I feel like this is what I enjoy. It's just figuring out a way to monetize monetize this business model is not easy. I think it looks easy, but it's not. I think it just, people from an outside perspective, I think people see the YouTubers as they're just having fun, they're building cars, and they're getting paid for it. But they don't see like all the behind the scenes, all the low points, all the times where, they lost all their money and they had to make it up some way. The way I think of it is just like, if I ever run out of money, I could always just get another job. A marketing job that's paying me X amount of salary. I work there for a little bit, I quit again, and then I keep doing the YouTube. But I never plan on stopping the content creation. At the end of the day, I feel like that's gonna get you at a much higher point over the next 10 years versus just working a 9 to 5. That's my perspective. I think the creator economy is where the money is going to be. I feel like everyone nowadays is trying to be the next TikToker, the next YouTuber, the next influencer, which is, I feel like it's vanity to an extent, but at the same time, you can make it into a business.
Well, I mean, and vanity to me, I don't know why it automatically has like a negative connotation to it, but it doesn't have to be. It's just, you are influencing people. I've noticed that, even like when my buddies who work on my cars, people DM me because they trust that I'm being honest in the videos, and they say, hey bro, who was the one that worked on your car? And I send them the Instagram of my buddy who does the work.
Yeah.
And so we are influencing people in a way. Again, I don't like the term YouTuber. I don't see myself as an influencer, but there is a level of responsibility that when you put a video out there that people are watching, and hopefully they trust you enough to watch you and to take the advice that you're taking. And in that sense, kind of goes back to what the original question, which the high and the lows. For me, I don't see YouTube as a full-time career because I think it would change my mindset towards a lot of different things. Like I mentioned in your podcast, tomorrow's gonna be raining, Sunday's gonna be raining, so interviews were canceled. 2 interviews were canceled, and if that was my sole income, damn, dude, like that's a whole different shebang than just this is extra.
Yeah, I think the whole YouTube thing, I think you would have to have a job and then try to do it on the side. I think it's something you have to start off as part-time, and then if you see some sort of traction or you actually see some sort of growth over the 2-3 years, and I think that's when you can, I don't know, at least for me, it's just the way I did is just save up money beforehand. I had a savings, and then basically I kind of used that to kind of keep me afloat and to kind of keep growing everything, and it's kind of worked in a way where it's, and the whole YouTube thing, I think it's exponential. Like I feel like everyone always says like it goes like this, and I don't know where it just goes up.
5 years into the making, but the crazy thing is that like I see you and we started like at the same time, around the same time, and obviously you have a higher sub count. I wholeheartedly don't think that your channel is, more successful because of it. You just have done a great job of marketing and being able to provide more people. Because to me, like I feel like we're freaking successful individually because of the experiences that I've been able to get. The only reason I want my channel to continue growing, like I mentioned, is for the access to more people, opportunities. A lot of our buddies are in Tokyo Auto Salon today, and I wouldn't be lying to you guys if I didn't say, if I said I don't care about it. No, I want to be in Japan. I want to be in Tokyo Auto Salon, but that's not where I'm at right now, and that's okay. At the same time, I don't. Especially with a growing family, I just don't see YouTube for me at this moment. I could be lying in 10, 20 years, so don't quote me on it. I just don't see it being my full-time career because I feel like it's really stressful. You mentioned ILLIMINATE and branding, how he was open about feeling sad. Like, yes, the more popularity you grow, the more channel that grows, sometimes the lonelier you feel because more people are talking to you, but you don't know their intentions. And so maybe that's what it came from. And so at least that's my point of view. So thank you for being vulnerable in that sense of like, you think about it. I think that's what keeps me afloat, that it's just extra bonus of a little bit of change that comes through. But realistically, I'm always looking for that jump in the algorithm, to me it's a game. I don't know for you, I know maybe again for you it's work, so there's a minimum of views that you need to kind of keep you afloat.
You can't depend on views. I think nowadays, and I think people don't realize it, the only way you can monetize as a content creator is to monetize a service or a product. So there's merch is like the basic YouTuber like way to make money.
Stickers.
And even then it's like, what's your profit margin? Like for example, on a shirt, it costs us like $12 to make plus $4 to ship, and we're charging $25 plus shipping. We make like $10 after taxes. You're not making much, right? So you have to find a product within your niche that I feel like has a huge profit margin. You have to figure that out for yourself, and then if you're able to market it in a way to where you start making money is when you're going to be okay.
And it's funny you say that because like to me, like I'm practicing trying to be a better business person. Because the reality is that I'm making apparel, making shirts. I call it apparel, but it's shirts. I'm making, my buddy Clint's helping me make shirts. And as stupid as it sounds, like the money is important, don't get me wrong, but I just do it so I can see my shirt be rocked. Like when you do your videos, and I see my shirt,
like
when you're wearing it, like every single time I comment, then that shirt though. But it's not because like, hey Miguel, give me a shout out. Absolutely not. It's more like, damn bro, like somebody took their hard-earned money to buy a shirt from me, and I know that the margin on it is not anything.
But they're supporting you.
But they're supporting me, and that to me, that's the biggest thing, at least. And that's like legitimate. That's not because I'm in front of a camera and being like, oh, I don't care. No, dude, like I love when one of my buddies sent me a picture, and some guy was wearing a sweater, and he's like, bro, out here in Barstow, that's between here and Vegas. Like somebody was rocking my Automotive Anatomy sweater in Barstow. Like, dude, that to me, that's success right there. That's why I don't compare myself to your channel and think, man, he's more successful than me. Do I look at your channel and be like, man, pinche Miguel, I'm glad he's kicking butt, but I want my channel to be at his level? Yes, because I'm that competitive. I'm extremely competitive.
I feel the same way about the guy with 500,000 subscribers, right? So I feel like I think that never goes away, and I think you're always going to compare yourself to the next level, right? So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like individually as humans we're equal, but when it comes to like the whole, I don't think you should really Do you feel like you're hard on yourself on that because of that, or do you feel like you've learned to let it go, or you're?
Oh, like I mentioned, I don't look at the sub count as much.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are times where I'm like, damn, like we are providing value. And I say we because this is a builder, the people that comment, like we're providing value. We're trying to build a good community.
Yeah.
And, then I see somebody shaking plastic, for lack of better word, on Instagram and their views are 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. And I'm just like, okay, it's okay. Don't worry. Because it does play. It does mess with my head sometimes just to see us share stories, share builds, share secrets of the fitment of some car or parts. But I also understand that, like, hey, if the people that are not tuning in, they're not tuning in for a reason, let's appreciate the ones that are tuning in.
So I want to ask you this. I'm sure people come up to you every once in a while at a car meet or something and it's like, hey,
before he asked this question, I started laughing right away because as I was getting the mic stuff, I'm like in the middle of doing something and some gentleman stopped. He legit just looked at him like, he goes, "It's you," and I was like looking up and I'm right next to you. He's like, "You're the guy with the Mitsubishis, huh?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, what's up? Oh man, I love your channel." He didn't even blink and he didn't even look at me and even say, "Hey, what's up?" But anyways, sure, I get recognized. I just thought it was the funniest thing. I'm just
it's random.
It's cool though. That's cool.
So there's obviously so when I was talking to the guy, there's a feeling of joy. It's like, hey, someone recognizes my work and recognizes what I'm doing in person. And then there's also the side, which I think a lot of, like, for example, the big YouTubers get. For example, TJ Hung, he goes out to a car meet where it's like 80% of the people recognize him, right? People are asking him for pictures, this and that. Maybe there's a day where he's having like a bad day and he just kind of blows someone off. Have you ever had a situation where you feel like someone felt like you blew them off, or like you just treated them incorrectly and it wasn't on purpose?
I don't think I would know. I don't think I would know if I did it or not. It's up to their perspective and the way they felt. Have I talked to people very limited? Yes.
Yeah.
So I personally don't care to be recognized. I just thought it was funny. I want the channel to have 25 million subscribers, and I don't want to be recognized. I don't like the meet and greet, and I don't like that. That's just me. Like, just let me be myself. That's it. But I understand that with the following comes that, right? And I do appreciate anybody who comes up to me and says, "Hey, what's up? Can I take a picture?" That to me is like surreal. Like,
yeah.
Like, not even my family takes pictures with me. My wife doesn't want to take a picture of me. Like, we're like
trauma.
but it feels cool. Don't get me wrong. But again, I'm not that. No. But I really do believe that you just have to be patient. Your time will come. And then maybe you want to be like TJ Hunt. That's okay too. Not a bad thing. That's just not me. So I'm okay with not getting recognized. I'm okay with just work slowly and quietly.
A couple things. So I think TJ's at a point where, honestly, I don't know, because it's like he has the option to basically build whatever car he wants. He has people coming up to him everywhere he goes. He has all the sponsors. He has, the social media branding's all there. How do you think he feels? Because we've talked about this as like, have you ever thought about quitting, like your lows, your highs? Do you think the bigger you get, the harder the falls and the higher the highs? Or how do you think they feel at times? Do you think, like, as humans, I feel like even though we have, this YouTube personality or this personal brand online, at the end of the day, your day-to-day life is way different to what you're posting. You're posting a build documentary, but realistically, they don't know what, maybe you're going to work and you drop coffee on yourself or something and you're having a bad day, and they have the same, I think they have like similar situations to where their day-to-day is completely different to what they are online, if that makes sense. So we see them from I don't know if I'm making sense. Like, we see them from a third person perspective.
I'm just waiting for you to stop so I can respond.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm hugging the mic now.
This is how I bring my guest. By the way, I'm going to keep doing this in the afternoon because he's more awake.
Yeah, way better in the morning.
Being in the middle of the street. He chose a location. I chose a time. They're like you and I, dude. They put their pants 1 foot at a time or one leg at a time, however they say it. Just like I'm looking at you at 80,000 subscribers plus, they're looking at someone else. I mean, everybody's probably looking at Mr. Beast right now. But is really making sure that you go out of your way to surround yourself with positive people and true friendships, right? Like I'm a huge proponent of positive podcasts, mindset, things like that. I listen to motivational speakers on the way to work every day.
Yeah.
Like that's my thing, because I go into work thinking like I'm here to do the best I can, right?
Yeah.
I go home, I listen to motivational speakers or things like that, podcasts that are uplifting. I don't really listen to the radio. Why do I do that? Because I remember the fact that I'm just a regular dude, and if I think that my social media is somehow giving me this prestige or this importance, then I'm on the wrong. I'm a regular ass dude, that I happen to make videos on YouTube.
And do you think you say that now based off the 50K subscribers you're at versus if we had TJ Hunt right here, what do you think he would say? How do you think he would feel about that?
I think he would say, because the same way I explained myself, I was more excited about buying my car parts when I was working at a fast food and there were tow hooks and stickers and things like that.
Yeah.
Then now I can go buy some T37s and I will get the joke, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to diminish it and say they're not worth anything. But I don't have that much sense of like, oh my gosh, as I used to. And
I think he would say the same thing then.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. Like he's probably looking at me like, man, I remember when the channel was 50,000, bro. Like,
he's like, you're living the good times right now.
Right, because once you get to 1 million, 2 million,
yeah, it starts getting.
You still want more, but now what? That's just my opinion. I don't know. I can't speak for them. TJ Hunt, more than welcome to join us here. Tag him. Adam LZ. I don't know. But I'm again like I'd rather do things by myself, bro. Like I don't need. As much as I want the channel to grow, I don't ever want to grow it on a negative platform. And and there's a few people that I can think of that have pretty big platforms, but I don't like their vibes, and I just.
It's not even about the YouTube channel. It's like the conversations that I would want to have with like the Jimmy Oaks, the Dustin Williams, the Eliminates, the TJ Hunts, the Amelia Hartfords, like is the human conversation that we're talking about. This space. I feel like it's a space that's not really talked about because there's not really too many. You could probably count like 20 big automotive YouTubers. We don't have access to them directly, but it's like who do they talk to in regards to their problems or their personal situations when there's not many people that could understand them because they're not in the same position that they're at. You get me? So it's like we're pretty close in numbers. So I feel like we're kind of in the same category, but it's like obviously there's the guys that are doing this at a much bigger scale. Who are they okay? Who are they talking to? Like who are they able to relate?
Well, it reminds me of like celebrities, bro. That's the reason why people they end up hurting themselves or unaliving themselves because. I mean, if I had to guess, because I'm just speculating here, but if I had to guess, TJ Hunt, Adam LZ, all those people, like they're no different than you and I.
Yeah.
They just have a bigger social media brand, and so now their business model is they're known as automotive. They go buy cars, but at the end of the day, like, it gets to a point where like. Another Porsche 911, like
no big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah, but if we got it right now.
Hold on. But that's because we're barely starting. Of course, in the camera, they're like, hey, what's up, guys? It's insane, blah, blah, blah. And they turn on the camera, they're like.
I do that sometimes, bro.
Right? But it's because you're not going to be following some dude. Like, that's why social media is fake, bro. Like, if people really show social media the way it was, everybody shows their highlights. You know? Oh, yeah, I bought the new car, I bought the new house. And everybody's like, yeah, bro, good job, blah, blah. It's the behind the scenes. I really don't think they're any different. I think they're just social media is bigger, and they're sitting there editing, thinking the same thing, man. Like I'm sure they go into their garage with the camera off, and they're looking around. They're like, doesn't bring me happiness anymore, because not that they're doing it for the wrong reasons. They have the reasons for doing something, but it gets to the point where that is just another freaking T37s. What else? And that's the reason why I'm pushing myself to not be like that and to take my time. That's why my cars look the way they look, dude. Not because I don't have the funds. I went to school. I got my degree. Not because of YouTube. I can do that. But I'm purposely not doing that because I need to remind myself, hey, you got bigger goals in life than just cars. You got bigger goals than just flex on social media. You got bigger goals than to impress people at the stoplight that you don't know. You got bigger goals than that. And that's just my personal opinion, but I think TJ Hunt and all those people, they're the same thing, man. They're just bigger platforms.
The way I see it, and I think the way they went about it is maybe they initially like to modify cars. and they decided to document in the beginning without any expectation on what was going to happen, especially, you know, back into like, what, 2016, 2017, when they probably started. They didn't know what YouTube was going to become now in 2024. Right. I think they were one of the very first, you know, pioneers that went into the space, and, you know, it went really well for them, which, you know, that's cool. But at the end of the day, it's like, I think at least for me, what once started as me enjoying my, you know, documenting me modifying my cars because it's what I love to do. Like in that point in time in my life, it was like, you know, I had my job, I was going to college, and I was modifying my car, and I was filming everything. It's just, I loved it. And then now, like, just like you were saying, I go outside, I see the VR4, I see the Eclipse, I see the RSX, I see the Evo, and I'm just like, what is this still the same reason why I'm filming this? Like, and like I told you in my podcast, it was kind of more of like, I don't think that Miguel is congruent to what I am now, and I think it just comes with age and maturity. And I think that's why a lot of people, for example, maybe they quit, right? So for example, like I've thought about quitting YouTube many times, and it's just because it's like, what am I really going to gain from me doing this? I feel like it's for vanity. I feel like it's just like I'm building the car just for that. But at the end of the day, like, once I take a step back for a couple of days or whatever, and then I realize, you know what, like, this is what I actually do love doing this. What like the potential, the opportunities, everything that's going to come by later is going to be worth it. And then, so I always have like that. I think that's the highs and lows. At least what I'm experiencing. It's a mental game. So I think I've just gotten the habit of always filming and always documenting, that I never lost traction as far as like quitting, just because I got used to it. But I think a lot of people go through that, and I think it's the same thing for the bigger guys. They're just so used to doing it now, and they're at such a big scale now, they can't just stop out of nowhere and just restart their lives.
So I think that's a good point though. Like, if you're smart, I think that the bigger the channel grows, then the more you need to kind of make sure that you have those systems in place to ensure that you don't burn yourself out, right? Like, if I had 2 million subscribers, honestly, I don't know if I would want to edit my own videos, because I think my ultimate dream goal would be to be like the Jay Leno garage, where I have a facility, warehouse. Somebody comes there, we talk about the car, talk about them, we go for a ride, and then they go home. I go home. It's only 2-3 hours. Somebody else edits my videos, and maybe somebody else even schedules the interviews for me. That would be, to me, I guess, top
like
peak.
The suite, yeah.
Right? What you're discussing too is the problem is that once the channel continues to grow, it becomes more of a business and less of the channel. And that's going back to, again, I'll reiterate all the time, I like smaller channels because they're just doing it for the passion to build cars. Not saying that these big companies, I mean, we saw it with Hoonigans. Big shout out to Hoonigans. I stopped watching them a while back because I just didn't, you know, I got inspired by, well, first of all, I couldn't relate. Second of all, I got inspired by their build biology videos and the daily transmission and daily projects and Hoonigan projects and all just the very simplistic videos. And then they got the revenue came in, right? And so now that we're building some
to me that's the awesome part. It's like when a small YouTuber, like, I don't know, where just hits it, and you start seeing them gain traction, you start seeing them doing all this crazy stuff, and their life is going crazy, and you kind of see them progress and turn into that person that they are now, right? I like that part.
You like that part?
I like the small YouTubers that are like blowing up, and they're getting traction, and their lives are changing, and I think that's a cool experience, and I think everyone deserves that as a YouTuber, dude. It's just like, you've never had your channel, like, I don't know, where just kind of blow up like 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I think it grew way more the first 2-3 years than now.
Yeah. So
right?
To me, it's crazy because I remember I posted my first YouTube video, and it went viral within the first 2 weeks.
What's viral?
200,000 views.
That is viral.
Yeah. And I gained like 3,000 subscribers like that, and I was like,
this is easy.
This is it.
I'm quitting.
But dude, that gave me like such an intense, like, it kind of showed me like the possibilities.
How scary social media is.
Yeah, dude, it hooked me, and I was like, oh, this is it. Like, I'm gonna blow it up. And the thing is, I think you do have to believe that you're gonna blow up the channel. Yeah, you have to.
I mean, I wouldn't mind having 200K views per video. And it will happen. You just gotta stay consistent and provide value at the end of the day. But I don't know. I just purposely tell myself, like, hey, you got different things going on at the moment. So I guess for me to you is, if you continue to grow at the pace that you're going, I mean, how do you see yourself? You're gonna change with the people? Are you gonna stop going to? Because I see a lot of big YouTubers that don't go to Cars and Coffees.
I don't. I honestly, I've
Why? Because they're in the morning and you're lazy and doesn't want to get up? Part of it.
I actually wake up at 5:30.
You do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Usually, yeah. So the way I see it going is, I stopped going to car meets and stopped driving my cars for a while. I think this was after the whole situation here with the whole pandemic and stuff like that. But over the years, I kind of left to the side. Right now, I think within the last year, I kind of started getting more involved with car meets. I'm going to like 2 car meets next week, 2 cruises. So yes, I think I see myself doing it. I think, like, for example, when you're talking about your peak, I think my peak would be to be able to build all the cars that I've ever wanted to have, all the cars I've ever wanted to build, and to be able to document them and then have like my collection of like the cars like that I wanted as a kid, basically. Does that make sense? So I think that to me is like where I see the YouTube thing going. Like I see myself with my house, and I see myself with like a nice 6-car garage or a warehouse where I could store all the cars, and I have the lifts, and then I have like, oh, here's the Eclipse, there's the VR4, there's the SRT4. Even if the money was available where I could afford an exotic,
Hey, you know what's funny? Like, to me, that scares me.
Why?
Because I'm afraid that I'm gonna have all that, and I feel satisfied, I feel fulfilled.
So I think the fulfillment comes when you're working towards it.
Right now.
But you're letting it go because you're thinking about the future, so you're not present. You get me?
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm happier right now.
The fulfillment's right now.
Right now.
But once you get there, you're gonna be cool for like 2 hours, and you're gonna want the next thing.
But that's what I'm afraid of, like getting to that point.
But as long as you're aware, I think as long as you're aware, like what you're doing is like, hey, like I'm here, now I want something else, or maybe you don't want to do YouTube anymore. You're like, I'm gonna pursue this. You gain fulfillment that way. But if you're not aware that you're chasing, it's like a cat and mouse game. You're chasing, and you never realize that you're fulfilled and you're happy this whole time because you're thinking about the future.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Hey, we'll see, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. I definitely welcome having a warehouse and having all those cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's the back of my head. Like, what if you get to that point and, it's like J. Cole says, good news, you came a long way. Bad news, you took a wrong turn or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but I don't know, man. I really appreciate you making the time. Seriously, this was really, really fun. I know it's difficult with your schedule. I'm looking forward to the next one. And if you guys have comments, questions that you guys want us to discuss, definitely is welcome. But for you, I mean, what is the next big thing for your car? The Evo, you left us off as you were gathering parts.
The parts.
Leave us off as to what's coming up, so that way when they go to your channel, they hold you accountable to it.
We're supposed to film tomorrow. We're supposed to build the head.
She just found out it's gonna rain.
That's how I asked you. I was like, oh shoot. We're building the head. We're going forward-facing turbo. So precision 58 with a 4 PS fab forward-facing manifold hood up. So we're basically just getting the head together, doing the timing components, and then getting the manifold, intake manifold, changing all the gaskets, and kind of getting it ready to drop into the engine bay.
Yeah, but that's all indoors. So
no, I have the Evo outside. It's like in the backyard.
You're gonna put the head already?
Yeah, right now it's like disassembled.
Okay,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
You can do that inside. It's not like you're gonna be.
Yeah, true that.
Painting the car.
But we'll see. Yeah, that's a whole project. So
look at the headache. Look at just the stress level.
It's
stressful.
He
makes it look so nice on videos. He makes it so easy.
It's stressful, but once the car's in, it's like when you're like, it was worth it.
We'll see. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. Big shout out to Fujiwara Tofu Cafe, Vincent, Sherry. Thank you so much for opening up your doors. Definitely, you gotta take pictures, Vincent, to see how Tokyo Auto Salon was, because it looks pretty insane. And maybe, dude, let's put it out there. One day we're gonna be doing this in Tokyo Auto Salon.
I'm down.
That'd be pretty
Japan.
cool, huh?
I'd be down for that.
Patience. All right. Catch you guys next time. Put his information on the bio so that way he can go show some love and support as he drops that thing. Freaking noob. Hey, thanks for letting me use your mic, dude.
Oh, yeah. Let's see how you like the audio. I mean, if you like them more, just get them.
I think I'm gonna pull the trigger on it.
Told ya. No querías. I'm a simple man, bro.
You need to learn how to use it first, huh?